Okay. We are ready to start. I need to... New incognito window. So yeah. Writing today. Okay, I need to turn this down. I turned that up too much. Okay. What I turned up too much was me listening to myself. If it's too loud, I start to speech jam myself. Ugh, I'm really sniffly today. Give me 1 second. Okay, wonderful start. Will I cut that out? Probably not. So, let me log into my Google Drive on my incognito window. The one annoying thing about logging in here, or doing incognito mode, is you have to relog into everything. But that's the price you pay for not having your address suddenly show up. I mean, it could also just disable ad block, but there's reasons. I've noticed that most streamers and stuff use incognito mode. There's just too much of a chance of some cookie showing something that it shouldn't. I need to go RPGs. Pathfinder. I'll open up that thing and this thing. So, I actually haven't worked on this much since the last stream, which is why I want to work on it. Hold on. There we go. Love how that works. I realized I could do that at one point, because it tries to find a... What it tries to find, the Chrome capture, is a new tab in incognito. And that's why I'm like, I can just open a new tab, then it will be a new tab, and then I can close it. So, since the last time I did some writing, Tantus gave me some ideas. And this is where I was trying to be safe, because I didn't want to go assume too much about Tantus's world. And so I was being a little bit safe for certain things, but there's basically going to be one part and to assign Halifax to the defense of the school. The least dangerous assignment. The Dreadlord sends a lieutenant to but during the final siege of the capital, capital. Dreadlord sends a lieutenant to take one of his generals to pillage infiltrate and disable the magical defenses. Located on the school's premises. Halifax engages the general while Explorer does everything against the master. Everything he does fails, resulting in the death of Halifax. There we go. That's how this is getting fixed. I think this is going to be a lot more interesting. Halifax decided it was time to join the army proper. To Halifax's dismay, Expenor caught him assigned to protection of protection detail of the school. Causing Halifax to become enraged at his ferret companion. When the siege started, just so happened that a general of the Dreadlord it's funny that genera is a word. I know what word it is. It's like the biology term. My brain's for blanking on how to describe it. School to steal and disable magical artifacts, Halifax, violently, and you can force the Dreadlord to retreat, or the even. Gave a grievous wound to the general, who was forced to retreat. However, Halifax died before he could be healed. A protection detail of the school. There's a good chance we'll switch up to something else at some point today, if I feel like things are dragging on a bit. But so we need one more person. Dreadlord. I'm gonna do an NA. Doesn't need more than a one-paragraph summary. Dreadlord General. Name TBD. Because Tantus hasn't given me a name. I kind of almost want to do insert page break. That way each section, let me also header these. Here we go. Now each thing is kind of its own section. Didn't mean to right click. Still want to... No, it'd be good to read this out more. A few years later... Oh, also, I need to open up that thing. I also decided that I'm just going to show you. If What's-His-Face wants to sue me, I'll be like, whatever. Or take it down, or whatever. I'm not popular enough for people to notice or care. Besides, it's a good book. I'm only showing the last 2 chapters, which is kind of the summary. The rest of the book basically tells you how to think about it. And how to do it kind of better. And shows you how to do it at the same time. Through a cute narrative story. And it's fine. It's not like that cute, but it's just like a nice simple narrative. It's not too overly complicated. It's pretty predictable, but the whole idea is to show you how things work. I think it's well written. I think it is well written. I need to enunciate better. It is something I should practice. But I also feel like when I do it, I sound a little weird. Like I'm forcing what I'm saying. And my cadence gets off. I want to see what it says about... Yeah, I agree with this. Okay. Yeah, a few days, but this is for a novel. I'm not gonna need to take that long for what will be like a 3-page short story. We probably have a set amount of time. Actually, here's an important question. How long do ferrets live? Got it. How long do domestic ferrets live? This actually can also be different. Well, yeah, because they're not truly domestic animals. I hope we're in the process of domesticating them. Okay, so the longer is more domestic ferrets. Got it. Well. 5 years later. Basically, the idea was it needs to happen before Ixpanor would die. Halifax is still a student. I noticed there's someone in my chat. Just to explain a little bit, I'm trying to get better at writing using... I've never really liked or was good at writing, but the book I read about the snowflake method by Rander Ingerman made me want to actually try, because it actually makes it so I can, do stuff. So now I'm trying to learn by basically writing a longer backstory for an RPG I'm going to be playing in. That should give enough context. Just figure I would, since I saw someone in there. Will they be gone in 5 minutes? Probably. But, who knows? So Halifax, still a student, takes a big risk, and honestly, it gives a lot of neat structure that I like. Have you heard of it? It's also very good for someone with ADD. It gives me a lot to jump back and forth between. Like, I can do this character and probably should first, but I want to write up some other stuff while I have it. Yeah. Let's see. Ritual to help Expenor live longer. That way. Well, I don't need to give reasoning right now. I just like the way it builds on itself. You have to go back and edit things a lot, but that's fine. She is then scolded by a teacher. Actually, I should say over here, during his time as a student at... Let me look up what my friend called this university. There's one thing that's a little weird about writing a backstory, and that is I have to follow within the rules of my friend's universe and stuff, which is kind of hard, because it kind of hampers your creativity a little bit sometimes. Although restrictions have also been said to enhance creativity, because you have to work around them. I feel like that would be true if Tantus had concrete rules. The problem is, he's a worse writer than me. And I'm not good. Where was I? Got a student at Terium Olmeria. Wonderful names. I've made fun of Tantus's names before. And I'll do it again. How many paragraphs do I need to do for my 5 paragraph? Or what is the structure of a paragraph for the 5 paragraph summary? Does it have a structure, or is it just expand them out? No, it's character synopsis. What? Oh, was I supposed to do... Oh no, character summary. And then short page. I'm not going to do the character synopsis, because it's, well, I could. It'd be a lot of work. Which is kind of the point. You have to input work to do good at writing. To become good at writing? Story circle. Oh. Haven't heard of this one before. Desire something, enter an unfamiliar situation. You know, they desire, pay a heavy price, return familiar situation. So this is supposed to be kind of more like each scene follows this? Or... No, writers for TV shows. That makes sense, honestly. This seems like a very good system for TV. Honestly, if I've learned anything about writing, it's about learning every single tool you can and then using the ones which help you. It's not about following structures as much as it's about, like, oh, here's a structure, I must follow it. But you kind of also have to follow it to learn it, but then you adapt it to what you need to help. Story circle in a story... Why narrative structure? Why is this narrative structure a circle? Classic graph of 3D act structure charts the rising and falling action, which is plot points to align with peaks. So why can't your hero complete 8 steps in a linear fashion from the beginning to the end? Yeah, the hero's journey. I saw the hero's journey in this. I've heard of the hero journey structure, so I know. Yeah, that makes sense. An adaptation of the hero structure. I thought that might have been the case. The monomyth. The return as an expressed in the circles and essential to the monomyth, which is a concept of mythology described by American writer Joseph Campbell. Trying to remember who that is. I feel like I've heard of him. I've heard the name. I can't remember. Then again, that's also a kind of common name. Anyway, in the hero, so it could be a different Joseph Campbell. In the hero with 1,000 faces, myth seems common narrative structure. In all great myths, Campbell names the 3-act departure, initiation, and return. Yeah, this is why, like, the one thing I dislike about certain modern storytelling idea is there's like one where it's like you have to include certain elements, and like one of those elements is always like the love triangle or like the love interest, and it's such an annoying cliche. I wish less screen like movies had that aspect where they had to follow it. Omitted the circular structure of his work, but his book, Save the Cat, the last on screen need, also takes the hero's journey and breaks it down to 15 essential story beats. That sounds interesting. How to write a beat sheet. Interesting. Actually, you know what? You want to know? This could be great for running RPGs. I like this idea. Because RPGs have, like Dungeons and Dragons, have this sort of... I mean, you'd probably want to drag it out, but it's a great way to kind of guide players. Because if you think about it... Oops. I meant to just open image. Ah, that is gigantic. Why is it 300%? Okay. It's kind of like this. Characters in comfort zone, desire something. Yeah. Because, like, think about it. It's like your players get to a point of safety. Then you give them something they want. Then, which forces them into an unfamiliar situation. They have to overcome the situation. They get it. You make something, you trigger something, or that triggers something, which they have to overcome, probably. And then they return. They have to return, which could be its own little thing. And, they've grown and changed. So this could be a great way to set up an RPG system. You'd obviously have to maybe alter it a tiny bit. I've actually been trying to figure out I need to read a book that I found that's more about how to write RPG plots. And I want to read that book. I haven't yet. It's sitting... I have an Amazon page sitting over... in a tab that I need to buy. Oh, someone else is here. Actually, that's probably me, now that I think about it. I think I have it open in another tab. That's the way I work. I open new tabs. I don't ever find old ones. I'm just gonna go over here. Okay, 1 second. To do the exact same thing and paste this in a tab, so that way I have it for later. Because this is an incognito tab that I close after I finish streaming. So 5 years later, and the next scene will probably be like 50 years later. Sovereign Master are willingly conscripted into the Scytherian army. Scytherian. My friend has the weirdest names for things. Like, I'm down for weird names, but I would like them to also be consistent. Because, like, I don't even know what most of his names are just, like, weirdly shifted words, like, Weirdlands is supposed to be, like, the Wildlands. Nice. And this is actually the thing that's been really hard for me, most of my writing, I don't actually care to write a book. That's not why I'm learning to write. I want to write better RPG plots for running D&D games. The problem is, you'd be surprised how hard it is to find people who have good input on that. There are people, most of the people who have good input on that are people who like talk about writing. In my opinion. That's not a bad thing. But I would love to hear from some of those bigger names on how they handle plots, because you can be a good writer, but how do you build around people. Because that's the thing, you have to build things for other people to interact with. And just being able to write doesn't help with that aspect. But being able to write does help you figure that out in the long run, is what I suspect. Which is why I feel like getting better at writing is a good idea. Because if you can write quicker and more efficiently, you can better basically improvise. It's like this weird mixture between improvisation and writing. And I finally found, like, a while ago, even like only like 2 weeks ago, I think, a book that actually seemed to be about this. So I need to do that. It's also hard because I have a reading disorder. So until I found audiobooks, I was horribly underread, because reading is very hard for me. But now that I've been listening to audiobooks for like 2 years, I actually feel like I have a concept of what makes stories good. It's kind of this weird thing where it's like, oh, apparently engaging in a media helps you learn more about that media. Huh, who would have guessed? I knew that was a reason why I wasn't great at writing, but it was nice that I found something that I could do to get better. I'm glad I can now engage in stories. Yeah. I mean, what's hard is I liked reading, but it was just such a pain because I read so slowly. It's not that I can't read, it's not that it is that I'm bad at reading. Basically, what I have is I have a reading comprehension disorder where I have a very hard time. My brain doesn't properly comprehend things that I'm reading. Imagine this. It's so hard to like get someone to picture, but imagine you have the string of words. But your brain, like, take a sentence. Now, mix up the words in this sentence. That's the thing, it's not dyslexia. Dyslexia does affect people. I actually think I have that as... yeah, I do have dyslexia as well. Sorry, I'm just trying to be like, wait, what did that say? Because I did take a thing about this, but this was more prominent to me. Anyway. So, that also doesn't help. But, if I had to describe it, it's like, imagine taking this sentence and splitting it up and then mixing it around. And then having to repiece it back together. That's basically what it feels like my brain does. It's like it doesn't read a sentence, it picks up all the pieces of a sentence, throws it on the floor, and then repieces it back together. It's like that's why it takes so long for me to read. This doesn't happen when I listen, though, which is why I've started to really like audiobooks. Yeah, I don't know. Brains are weird. Days later, extraordinary willingly, concerning skin army. Yeah, this... by the Dreadlord. Also, the generic... Also, I find it hilarious that in Tantus' world, the current era we're in is AD, which stands for After Dread. And it's like, this is when the Dreadlord and the Dread Army started invading things, and I'm like... Generally, people assign... eras... Well, they either have a system for assigning eras, such as, like, 25th year of the reign of the family of, blah, blah, blah. It's like, based off, like, something. Or, the other way, you might assign, dates is after the fact. So, this was a major turn. We look back to 100 years ago, and we're like, this was a major point in history change. Let's start counting from there. those are the two ways that I'm aware of. There could be more. That people start counting things, or counting dates. You know, like, this is now a new era. Like, people decide we're in a new era, and they start counting from that point. As far as I'm aware, it's just like this army invaded, and they're like, well, I guess we're starting over. It's like, really, while you're fighting an army, you have the structure to go through and start a new calendar. I'm just like, I can understand. I guess if it started later, that's one thing, but I don't know. Tantus, he's not alright. I mean, he's... I think too much about everything, too. So, it's hard. It's hard to suspension of disbelief me. Because, unless you've got... Especially when you have so many issues. I think, though, this is a good introduction. Because basically at this point, because it's going to be such a short story, each sentence is basically a scene. Or for the 5-paragraph summary, at least. I need to expand these other bits. Also, that does remind me, I copied this from up here to work as a thing. Where was I? I'll make fun of Tantus's weird way of doing things. He's aware that he's like, it's like, that's how I'm doing it. I'm like, okay, as long as you know. That's actually a very important thing. You can make things like... Where's that period go? There it is. Wow, it's right at the end. That's probably why I couldn't find it. There we go. So yeah, I'm using this as a way to teach myself the snowflake method. I still think mixing methods is a good idea. Like, this has potential. I'm not going to try and figure it out now, but it has potential. Playing around with things from the ground up is something I do on my own time. And I guess I could stream it, but it's just probably me standing there staring at the screen thinking, which isn't fun. And talking actually makes it hard to think. Fun fact. That's why there's so many times, like, it's kind of funny. If you've ever watched streamers, like, just complete, or even Let's Players, completely overlook things in, like, a video game, and you're just like, oh my gosh, the solution was literally so obvious, you were staring right at it for, like, 5 minutes. Honestly, that's why, because your brain's trying to think of things to say, which makes it hard to write and do other things. But at least in this case, I'm trying to. That's also why it just takes longer to do everything while you stream. Halifax joins the army. Okay, let's break this up. Convinces Halifax to take on a leadership role. Halifax. tries to sign up directly for the army. Believing he would be Army. There we go. Believing he would his destructive magic. It's destructive. Magics. I was just trying to decide if it's destructive magic or is destructive magics. I guess magics. I've decided. Magics would be best served on the front lines. Actually, it's less destructive and more defensive. Okay, it is just magic. Although, was it a misspelling? What was a grammar thing? I'm actually curious. Does it actually say why? No. Go away. I actually like when writing emails. What's that? Like a skin fleck on my nose. Kind of one of those things where it's like you like realize it in the little peripheral of your vision. I'm like, there's like a little thing waving. It was just like, where'd that come from? Anyway, that's what I was saying. When I'm writing emails in Outlook for work, it's fun because it'll actually tell me why it's making a grammatical correction, and I really like that because it allows me to know if I can ignore it or not. And Outlook gives a lot of things that I like to ignore. It's like, oh, this is clear. I'm like, no, it's actually not. I'm now wondering if this was the music that got my channel muted. My stream muted a while back. I own the license to all this music, but I just realized how much this reminds me of that song, like, it's like, I'm a bad guy. Anyway. And I realized, like, I could totally see this being the song. Because the problem is it doesn't tell you, and I have to, like, match it up, and I didn't have time. I actually should go through and figure out when it was from my VOD and my stream. If it happened to my stream, or to my VOD, I would definitely... my VOD on YouTube. My VOD on Twitch, I can do whatever it wants. But yeah. Lines, but ignore convinces him to reluctantly take up a leadership role, stating his role as a teacher would make him better at leading. Devastating attack. However, Lex insists he would have been able to stop. Effects. Goes to the general and asks to be put into a battle. To a battle unit. To an army unit. That's true, it would be an army. You are correct. I can split this up even more. Halifax. Continuing to be discontent. While only a magical. There's definitely some deciding I need to do here. It's obviously something that he can defend. Okay, this is where things will get a little bit weird for writing, and I need to actually figure out the kind of magic that he might have been able to defend against. So I'm actually going to look at some of the rule books. Let's open Player Core. Go to spells. Let's go to spell lists. I know enough about stuff. Let's go to high level spells. It could also be a higher version of a low level spell. Like, how many bolts can a magic missile get up to? No, it's called Force Barrage now, because they deviated from 5e. Because they're now on the Orc license rather than the Wizards of the Coast license. I forget what that's called. Okay, 1 additional shard with each action you spend. Every 2 levels. Although, wait, does shield stop magic missile in this version, now that I think about it? That's something I need to look up. I'm not sure it does. Use a spell's reaction to reduce damage from any spell or magical effect. No, shield is different. Huh. Is there a way to block magic missile? How to block magic missile? No, sorry. Well, yeah. I spelled all of that wrong. Hmm. Not as accessible as shield block feat itself. Goodbye. Normal shield block, you can use the spell's reaction against the magic missile spell. Spell guard shield. Okay, this is a special type of shield. Got it. Oh yeah, that's the same thing. So the shield spell does technically work. So shield, of course, as well as approach shielding, less ability. Oh, this is Pathfinder 1E. I guess the one benefit for the shield spell versus Force Barrage, which is now what they call Magic Missile, I wonder if there's any, like, war spells, and I'm actually curious about that. Siege trait. Oh, this is Kingmaker stuff. Got it. That makes sense. Yeah, Kingmaker had a bunch of odd rules. There's one called Magic Siege Engine? Oh, this is Pathfinder 1st Edition. Yeah, this is 1st Edition. So they don't really have anything for mass warfare. Majors would still destroy, like, a rank and file soldiers. Which is why I actually would think in, like, a world where you can just magically snap your fingers and explode a large area, armies would be a lot more spread out. You wouldn't want people to clump in that way. But yeah, I guess shield can... Most AC to serve next turn, but doesn't require hand to use. While spells in effect, use a shield block reaction. Shield. The shield has hardness 5. You can use spells reaction to your stance from any spell or magical effect. It doesn't deal physical damage. If you use shield block, the spell ends, you can't cast it again for 10 minutes. Yeah, okay. Shield block reaction. I'm actually curious about this. There's a shield block reaction. Sidetracks. Hooray. Actions. Here we are. Specialty actions. Raise the shield. Wait. No, it's a feat. Right. Consuming amount of damage. Remaining damage, possibly breaking or destroying the shield. Got it. So it's a... yeah, it does say you. So the person using it. Okay, that answers that. So you can't use it on other people. Is there... Go back to arcane spells. Okay, so what would be a good mass attack that can also be more easily... that maybe could be defended? I mean, I could make my master an elemental mage, even though my character will be like a force mage. Because elemental mages have ways of counteracting other elemental mages, or elemental attacks, which is useful. And you've got things like anti-magic, counterspell. The whole counteracting thing is super confusing to me. In fact, I'm gonna take a second. Tangents galore. Tangent time. And try and figure this out. So wizard. Let's go to wizard. Feats. And there should be counterspell. 4th level? No, it's gotta be early. Counterspell. Creature casts a spell that you have prepared. When foe casts a spell and you can see its manifestations, you can use your own magic to counter it. You expend a prepared spell to counter the triggering creature's casting of the same spell. You lose the spell slot as if you had cast the triggered spell. You then attempt to counteract the triggering spell. Counteracting. Some effects try to counteract spells. Afflictions, conditions, or other effects. Counteract checks compare the power of two forces to determine which defeats the other. Successfully counteracting an effect disrupts it. Let's figure out what disrupting is. Preventing it from having any effect unless it's noted otherwise. Disrupting actions. Various abilities and conditions such as reactive strike can disrupt an action. When an action is disrupted, you still use the action or reaction you committed, and you still expend any costs, but the action's effects don't occur. In the case of an activity, you usually lose all actions spent for the activity up through the end of that turn. For instance, if you begin to cast a spell requiring 3 actions, and the first action was disrupted, you lose all 3 actions that you committed to that activity. The GM decides what effects a disruption causes beyond simply negating the effects that would have occurred from the disrupted action. For instance, a leap disrupted midway would transport you back to the start of your jump, and a disrupted item handoff might cause the item to fall to the ground instead of staying in the hand of the creature who is trying to give it away. Got it. disrupts it. Okay. When attempting to counteract check, add a relevant skill modifier or other appropriate modifier to your check against the DC. Countering an affliction. The DC is in the affliction stat block. If it's a spell, use the caster's DC. The GM can also calculate a DC based on the target's effective level. For spells, the counteract check modifier is your spellcasting attribute modifier plus your spellcasting proficiency bonus, plus any bonuses and penalties that specifically apply to counteract checks. You can counteract it, and you can counteract. What you can counteract depends on the check's result and the target's counteract rank. An effect of a spell. If an effect is a spell, its rank is the counteract rank. Otherwise, have its level and round up to determine its counteract rank. If an effect's level is unclear and it came from a creature, have and round up the creature's level. Counteract rank is no more than 3 higher than your effective counteract rank. Counteract the target rank is no more than 1 higher. It's lower than your effective. So you can expend a spell slot, then attempt to counteract. Okay, so this can actually affect things, because like if you have the spell prepared at a higher level, then you might need like only a failure. If you have it prepared at a higher level, or if you're prepared in a lower level than the person's casting it at, you may need to get a critical success. Okay. Counting affliction. The spell use the caster's DC. Okay. So you have to beat the caster's DC. Which actually might be impossible in certain circumstances, but okay. But then there's a whole thing about identifying spells. And that's where I'm just like, okay, but... So counteract only applies if you have the same spell. At that point, Dispel Magic is just better. And I'm getting off topic a lot, but... Where's Dispel? D. I think they still call it Dispel. Yeah. Attempt to counteract check against the target. Successfully counteract a magic item. It becomes... So it's not change the item's magic property. Yeah. Oh, okay, so Dispel Magic can't be a reaction. That's the one downside to it. Counterspell's not that good, honestly. Dana. Yeah. How do you... I feel like Counterspell should have specified that Dispel Magic can be used to counter any spell. Then it would be worthwhile of a feat. But because you have to have the same spell, that's very situational. On the upside, though, it doesn't have to be the same tradition, which is a lot of other things require. And there's this whole thing about identifying spells. Let me look at that. I'm on a tangent, I'm sorry. But I'm now curious about some things, and curiosity killed the cat, I guess? So, crafting, identify, magic. Using skill related to the appropriate tradition. Skills to identify magic tradition other than your own at a higher DC. Discover that an item or location going in. Okay, so identifying magic is different. If you're the spellcaster, you can use a skill corresponding to your tradition. Learn a new spell with that tradition, your spell price. Materials need to learn the spell of each rank. Learning spell is most useful for classes that use a limited list of spells, like a bard, witch, or wizard, though other classes might use it in rare common spells. Oh, cool. Spells such as your spell book, familiar for witch, or spell list for cleric or druid. If you have a spell repertoire such as a bard, it's automatically added since you only know a limited number of spells, since you select it when you add or swap spells. Yeah. So you can identify magical effects, and learning spells. Magic link spent in this turn. Magic. Okay, so it's 10 minutes, so it's an exploration activity. Yeah, exploration. Gem, DC for checkers, magic. Okay, so why is there then a feat? I know there's a feat that allows you to identify magic, or identify magic as a reaction, I think? It's like quick identification or something? Yeah. Find magic swiftly, you take only 1 minute. Determine the properties of an item, ongoing effect or location rather than 10. If you're master, it takes 3 actions. If you're legendary, it takes 1. Okay. And then there's one that lets you use, I think, Arcana for everything. Well, this allows you to detect magic. Then how does detect magic? If you can identify magic in 10 minutes, how does detect magic come into play? Send out a pulse surge for this magic. Receive no information beyond the presence or absence of magic. Just ignore magic fully aware of, such as the magic. You just detect illusion of magic only if the magic effects is low rank than the rank of the magic spell. However, items that have an illusion aura but aren't deceptive in appearance, such as invisibility potion, typically are detected normally. At 3rd level, you earn the rank or level of the most powerful magical effect. Okay, so it just helps you pinpoint locations which you can then try to identify. Okay. I think I'm starting to figure out some of this whole thing. I want to check another thing. Yeah, Unified Theory, which requires Legendary. You understand the common underpinnings of the 4 traditions of magic, allowing you to understand them all. If you use a skill action or skill feat that requires neutral cost for religion, depending on the magical tradition, you can use Arcana instead. So you would normally take a penalty or have a higher DC for using Arcana on other magic, such as when using Identify magic, you no longer do so. And then there was one... Yeah, quick identification. Recognize spell. That's the other one I was confused about. Creature in line of sight has a spell that you don't have prepared or in your spell repertoire, or a trap someone object casts such a spell. That you don't have prepared or in your spell repertoire. Okay, so recognize spell. Training the appropriate skill for the spell's tradition, and it's a common spell of second rank or lower, you automatically identify it. Higher spell rank, automatically identify increases to 4 if you're expert, 6 or 10 if you're legendary. Jam rolls. Recognize the spell and gain a +1 certain advantage to saving throws. Recognize the spell, you fail to recognize the spell. Okay, so you can recognize it automatically if you have it prepared, or it's in your spell repertoire. Recognize spell allows you to do so. If you don't, it can give you a bonus if you critically succeed on the attempt. Recognize spell might be worth it for my character at some point. I would need to get trained in other stuff. Okay. That has been settled. Oh wait, I never actually figured out a spell that could have been devastating and allowed me to defend against it. Probably a big elemental spell, because I know there's a spell that allows you to counteract elemental spells. Seven. I don't want to go much higher than 7th level casting. Actually, no, 8th. Yeah, because of the way Pathfinder works. So something like Earthquake could be interesting. Shake the ground, angled structures, geometric flex, smite clumps. Shaking ground. Turn the ground must attempt to reflex save. Footing. Permanent. And their sides require sexual athletics to climb. Oh yeah, what is the range? 60-foot burst at 500 feet. Actually, because of the way Counteract works. It's like an elemental counteract. What's that spell? I actually think it's... Go all spells. It's not a cantrip. I think it's a first level spell. Focus spells. No, normal spells. No. Well, I know what book it's in, so I can just look there, I guess. It's in Reach of the Elements. This is things that change. No. Notices, elemental characters, elemental truths. Where are the extra spells? I thought it was here. These are archetypes. No. Man, I'd love to remember what this is called. Oh, spell list. Cauterize, clad in metal, cleanse air, explode earth, falsify heat, fireproof, helpful wood spirit, paved ground, repulsive breeze, rebel step, thermal remedy, charmer sense, voice of the breeze, waterproof. Scrying, sand, thunder, elemental sense. Maybe it's a feat. Because it was definitely earlier. I don't think it was... Oh, elemental counter. It was a cantrip. Use countering element to protect against a spell. 222. Okay. And then they could have used a 9th rank spell. Let's put this one. A minute. Long feels plane of metal radiates from you, channeling, reshaping them into Mirror's thought. Against the spell, you can relocate each affected target to any other occupied space within the emanation. You can't move yourself in this way. An unwilling target can resist. Creatures move all at once. Yep. Okay. This is a plan. Basically, I could have counteracted my character, or Halifax could have counteracted a metal spell. that tore a gap to allow an army through. Or into the center. That's it. I'm going to take a quick break and go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Okay. I'm back. On that Halifax would have countered. To rent a hole in the force, ending in massive devastation. I'm kind of curious how big the range of that spell is. 100-foot emanation. Halifax. Existing, he would have been able to stop enemies push. Argues with Ixminor. For deciding to join the battle himself. Lex goes to the general as we put into an army unit. Okay. Let's see. You know what? I think I'm gonna call this here. So let me also clear this up. I still need to do this character before we get to the next bit. I don't know why I did that. Okay. I'm actually going to take a longer break this time, not just to go to the bathroom, because I'm just getting a little bit fuzzy-headed. So we're going to take like a 10-minute break. And when we come back, I'm going to switch to... that. Do a timer. Take a 10-minute break. That's not a timer. Your timer. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, we are back. Let's open up the Foundry thing that I was doing the character thing in. Just still need to... Sorry, there's a whole password thing I have to do. That didn't work. Hello? There we go. It was like not copying for some reason. Wait, what? Where did my category go back? I clicked on the new category, but when I hit update, it didn't change. Okay, well, it's changed now. Okay. My brain's fogging a bit now, so I figure something a little bit simpler would be good. Also, I did realize I need to do... items, although I'm not sure how to handle items. Rather than just giving myself the gold and then continuing to buy stuff up to the level. So we'll do that at another time. Well, no, the whole idea is that... yeah. No, let's do it now. So, we're doing up to level 8. And that's the one thing, items are a lot less likely to be handled. Actually, something I realized. I don't have... yeah, I do not have... shield. Which I feel like I should have. Oh well. Let's figure this out. Okay. Actually, I think... Let's come over to here. It's not spells, but let's go to equipment. Level. Let's do level 3 to 8. I also need to actually look up how much money I'd get. Over here to running the game, rewards. And then what you do is you go total value 8, 4,000. Calculator app. Minus knows how much treasure you should give out. Also level. Okay, never mind. It's 4,000 plus 29,000 plus 1,000 plus equals divided by 4. So I should have that much gold. Spend. Now, let's actually go back over to here. I just realized an issue with the way... Oh well. How I learn something. It's a talisman. Ooh. Silver ink on the black paper charm. You know what? That level thing is fine, but let me go through different categories. Adventuring gear up to level 8. Nope. Okay, that's not what I was thinking. I'm just going to level 8. Level 1 to level 8. Just to figure out the rest. Aquarium lamp. Noble amusement. Your feet, like still cable, which embeds a hall, heavy load, panel. Interesting. Warm suit. Let's go for upping layers of cloth. Click overlapping layers of clothing. Probably matching hat, outfitted mesh. Oh, okay. Insects. Game uses 3 to physically damage from swarms. Explorer's clothing altered in this way. It's dexterity capital +2. Check penalty of -1 and speed penalty of -5, regardless of your strength. Impenetrable swarm suit made of expensive, finely crafted mesh designed to completely prevent swarms from getting inside. Gain resistance 10 to physical damage from swarms while wearing the impenetrable swarm suit rather than 3. Okay. A mithril waffle iron. Why? Waffle iron with an imprint, or mithril waffle iron. Why? Okay, hold on. Let me. Third reason. High grade mithril. Waffle iron, stand grade mithril, rather than iron. It might bear an imprint on the plates. Because with other mithril cookware, food rarely sticks to mithril waffle iron. As it's made of mithril, this is uncommon. Although most metallurgists are certain that the much more affordable standard grade mithril waffle iron maintains mithril's full non-stick properties, the super elite insists that only waffle irons made from high-grade mithril waffle conforms to the most perfect shape and texture. Gideon has one high-grade mithril waffle iron for sale, emblazoned with an archaic symbol. Supposedly used to make Melanie herself waffles from her mortal life. It's made of mithril, it's an uncommon item. Okay. How much does this cost? It's totally a thing my character would get. Give me 1 second. Nope, wrong thing. You. Oops. Whoops. Yes. We'll 100% have this. I also need to edit this. Make it a medium one. Yeah. Oh. It's walls? No, it's drawing. No. Tile. That's what it is. Okay. There's one thing. Spacious pouch. Level 7. Yes, I'd definitely get the type 2. When I can. And my thought was, oh, I could sell it. Then I realized, no, I should not. Medium. Details. There we go. Totally worth it. I mean... Then go down to full 4 bulk. Can I stow that? There we go. Due to the bulk of the spacious pouch, should probably only have one. Which means I'm gonna want to change all these to worn. Get rid of the bag. Well, sell it for half value. Your value is 75, so I'd sell it for half. $74 would be 2 plus 5, 7, 37. And then 5 silver. Now, put all this back. Perfect. Also, $5 silver. Yeah, we're definitely getting that. I wish there was like a buy feature. Which does remind me, I need to edit you. Medium. There we go. Which means I get to sell it for 2 gold and 5 copper. Or 2 silver and 5 copper. There we go. No Apex items. Oh, I would want, at this point, to have the upgraded armor. Yeah, let me get that. Mental clothing. Just discussing remain purpose on item bonus or mouse bonus to make an impression, depending on the target's fashion sense. Tearaway clothing. Don't worry, our measures more eternal. Armor. No, it's not armor. It uses your unarmored defense proficiency. It still has a dex cap. Grants bonus AC. Etched with potency runes. The clothing. So. %. Now I also need this. Which is -5. Silver, right? 1 silver. And then, I'm going to come over here. Edit you. Add a rune. I need to look up which points you get these. And their costs, actually. Armor potency. Oh, okay, they don't say it. I'm actually curious what happens if I drag this in into equipment. Technically, it affects the price and the item itself. Crazy. Base resilient is 8. Okay, so I would get it at 8. Potency. Armor potency 2 is 11, so I wouldn't have that yet. But it would get 160. Alright, got 160. Oh, okay. I'll fix that. +1. And the base resilient. Oh! Well, let me delete you. Do this. It does it automatically, and now that I know that, I'm not going to try and touch the price. So, I should look at property runes. Runes. Property runes should, in theory, be lower than the one you get. Let's go traits. Is there armor? New. Armor property runes. So, making it extremely fast to get into. You can don light armor. Okay, that's not a thing I need. Change the shape and appearance of this armor. Probably. Stop you bleeding out. Also, I have to acrobatic checks to escape and squeeze. That's fun. Armor edged with this rune aids in routing ranged attacks aimed at an enemy around you. Oh, okay. Eerie symbols, frightening foes. No. I need to look up the rules for runes, actually. Armor runes. Runes adds abilities. If pseudo armor or weapon has multiple etchings of the same rune, only the highest one applies. Upgrade property runes to higher level type of that rune in the same way you would upgrade fundamental rune. So you can upgrade runes, transfer runes, etching. And it follows the same process as crafting. You must be able to craft magical items. Have the formula for the rune. Have the item you're adding to the rune in your possession. Your etching process and any specific craft requirements. The rune has no effect until you complete the craft activity. You can etch only one rune at a time. Okay, so basically you can put higher level stuff on. So basically I can go up to 8. In theory I'd have to wait. I'm still thinking of raiment. Can make itself and its wearer quickly change size. That's also tempting, actually. We also max level 8. What's the source for this one? For Knight of Last Wall. Invisibility. Once per day. That's also very good. I could get Greater Slick. That's handy. You want something to the ground 5 feet, 25 feet from the air, provided there's at least one action in the cloud on your turn. You haven't reached the ground, you're in the air at the end of your turn, otherwise you fall. You can 5 resistance, yeah, so you can get resistance to damage. Yeah, and it has a greater. It gives it to 10. You gain doomed. Trigger, you gain the doom. You reduce the value of the triggered condition by 1. Handy. Encounters burning. Armor with this rune reduces the DC flat check. Then persistent acid or fire, affecting you from 15 to 12. And then it goes to 10 and then to 8. Honestly, raiment. Let's be real. My character is a flashy mofo. There we go. Also, how much is it? So 640. I'm gonna add back in 55. So, weapon runes. Kind of curious what kind of stuff exists for this. Because improved understanding, allowing you to do more damage. 26 additional damage of the weapon's damage type to creatures with the chosen trait. Creatures of the chosen type disguises other creatures. Gem of the Bane rune applies against a creature disguised as a creature of the chosen type. Gem might allow Bane rune for other creature traits such as Astral Dream or Demon. However, humanoids, undead, and specific types of humanoids such as elves are never valid options. Performs divination magic on the blood of your foes, granting insight into the abilities of and weaknesses. Hooked. I don't think any of these would apply to a staff. Ezra. Hold on, flickering. Because you can have a rune as a weapon to shimmer. Flickering weapon adds its item bonus to the potency rune. Its potency rune to the DC against attempts to disarm or steal it. In a critical hit, the weapon flashes bright pulse and color. So this could be useful. Doesn't enter except when you conduct energy, though it doesn't show any. Yeah, because like a death strength weapon plus one against negative energy and death effects. See, like melee things that allow you to surface the weapon clinging tightly to its contours. Critical hit if the weapon's roots grow from the target. Finger up your mouth, you transform into an animal. Oh. Let's finger up in its jaws. Animal matches. Animal you're most likely associated with. Turn to a lizard, a kitsune into a fox. Or a wolf if no specific animal is applicable. Not super useful. See, something that allows the weapon to do something more is what I'm looking for. Because you can add runes to a staff. But since I don't plan to attack with it, it doesn't feel very useful. Yeah, it just does acid, decaying, void. That's a king. Okay, that's a neat one. Which allows you to summon it with a minute. Resonant, energy, damage, type, foundation. Die, open already has resonant weapon trait, doesn't it? On the critical hit. Yeah, flickering is nice because it can be. It's unclear whether you have to activate it. Wearing distinct get momentarily turn invisible at random intervals for a second or two. Like, shifting is interesting, but honestly not useful for me, because I am an animal. Hauling weapons are adept at moving creatures around. Destroy constructs. Damage inflicted on constructs with launching weapon continues to spread throughout the creature. Farm, engage, surface of road, otherwise it's spawning. And it's just constructs. Zoom to hit and damage a creature. If I wanted to spend the extra money on it. Killing dagger, deflect attacks aimed at your allies. Huh. Fun, but not super useful. Wait. Oh, Fanged Greater. I was about to say, I'm like, I thought Fanged was... That actually might be worth it. The Greater Fanged. It's a fun idea. Only with the Fanged Weapon, and you don't have the hand items for effect on enemy. Honestly, I feel like this would just make me bestial. Cool. I'm going to probably have that if I decide to etch anything. Fanged and Recalling, or whatever it was called. Grimoires. Notes from Tantus, no description provided for this trait. Spellbooks are useful tools. Nothing more than ink on parchment. Grimoires have absorbed magic. The spells within magic that knowledgeable spellcasters can use to augment their spells. Grimoires hold 200 spells, like any spellbook, but allow a spellcaster to erase spells written by a book's previous owner in favor of the spells that employ their own magical formulas. If a spellcaster wants to transfer their spells from one of their spellbooks to a grimoire, they can conduct a simple 1-minute ritual with the two books. Okay, you reverse spells. The cleric or wizard from a specific feat ability like Esoteric Polymath, Bard feat. You can set a grimoire during your daily preparations to answer one or more of the spells within. So in your next daily preparations, you gain the ability to activate the grimoire. You've already absorbed the power of the grimoire during your daily preparations. You can activate it, even if you later lose possession of the book itself. Benefit only apply to spellcasters. To spells cast via spell slots, not cantrips, focus spells, or innate spells. No one can use more than one grimoire per day, nor can a grimoire use more than one person per day. Neat. My character might actually be able to use that because of the one feat I'm going to get later. Anyway, that's a neat idea. Let's go to staves. Up to level 8. I can do the Greater Staff of Fire. You do have to be able to use all the spells in it. So I'd have to use ones that have arcane tradition spells. Recollect and force. You are now against attacks and hostile spells. Gains wisdom status bonus to armor class and same goes against the target. And other effects. Oh, it's sustained up to 1 minute. That's good. I might want to get that one, actually. Oh, but these are Divine Occult. Never mind, that's why I can't get it. Staff of Summoning is interesting. Anglevine Arcane. Summon Animal. Gain Primal. Divine Occult Primal. Arcane Divine Occult Primal. Arcane Primal. And it's also Arcane Primal. Staff of Protection. Neat. It's a good one. This actually sounds like the one I'd want. I might actually change what spells my character has to be a little bit more illusion-based. Actually, I'm gonna do that real fast. I'm curious. If I were to alter some of my spells, I was originally trying to go more Force Mage, but I'm starting to wonder if my character, if it wouldn't be more fun to go Arcane and, like, Mind. Like, I will have telekinetic hand. Because that's just useful. But what if I instead have Figment? There we go. My character has Deception, right? Yeah. It's... character definitely doesn't have a lot of fire ability, or... yeah. I can go Charm... Fleet Step is fine, Force Barrage is fine, Pocket Library, and Quicksort. I'm actually okay with those. But let's see... because again, it's Arcane, and... well, let's search. So I'm gonna do Arcane first and second level. And there's Alarm, which... nah. Because it's an exploration spell. That rope is neat. Command is nice. Deja Vu. That's a good one, actually. What book is this from? Player Core 2. Thermal action target weapon, friendly hums. Lets me do things like fear as well, if I'm going to be more of a mind trickster. I like the idea of Arcane as well. Well, I might get some... stuff like that. But I think Figment will work well. Allows you to create a diversion of illusion. Listen to deception checks if you attempt against a creature. The creature displays it. Because currently, Fleet Step is more of a get-out-of-dodge spell. And it helps you get around the battlefield and get away from things. Which is nice. But I'm starting to feel like it might be more interesting... Ferrets technically have very strong smells, so this is a funny idea. Umbral Shroud. It's one step lower than it actually is accordingly. The Shroud provides +1 status bonus to saving throws against light effects. Okay. Summon a phantasmal minion. The minion is roughly shaped before you. You can choose to have it be invisible or have an ephemeral appearance, but it's obviously a magical effect and not a real creature. Should probably say no to rare. Yeah. Makes appropriate sound, generates normal smells, and feels right to touch. Spell grants auditory and olfactory trait. The duration increases to an hour. Decide where I want that. No, kinetogram. How did I miss this? I wanted some force spells. Does this not have higher level casting? Wait, does Connect Ram not have... Okay, never mind. That's probably why I ignored it. Might be worth it at later levels, but... Just does remind me. It would be a signature spell. So an illusory creature. You're heightened +1. I want you at 3rd level. My... Oh, there we go. Now it's showing up 2nd level spells. It's like only showing the 1. Illusory object at level 2. That's kind of more what I want. But I also want blur. And then I could make illusory object. And just make Force Barrage suck forever. And ever. Or I could get it at level 4. I was gonna create a duplicate before I did this. Whoops. Oh well. That'll give me a defensive spell. Oh, it swaps them. I was so confused about how to, like, how I figured how this stuff worked. A, B, C, D. So days should go here. No, it doesn't swap them. But it moves it before the one that you put it on top of. Okay. That's how that works. Levels of pocket library 6 will be the next one. Then I have to wait till 5th for Force Barrage. Oh wait, I know what I'd do. I would get Illusory Object at 2nd level, and then just get Blur later. As like the next one. That's what I do. And then I can keep Illusory Creature and Force Barrage as my high level casts. Not that Force Barrage or Illusory Creature would matter. Then I need one more first level spell. Some creature strikes the target. It's touch, though. Wait, gem floats around the target in an erratic pattern. Times 5 points each time the creature strikes the target. The target attempts a DC 11 on success. The gem blocks the attack. So the attack damage is gem success. The gem blocks the attack. So the attack first damages the gem and then applies the remaining damage to the target. The gem is reduced to 0 once it shatters, dealing 1d slashing damage to the creature that destroyed it. Okay. Schadenfreude. You distract your enemy with the feeling of smug pleasure when you critically fail a saving throw against foe's effect. You distract your enemy with the feeling of smug pleasure. You must attempt a will save. Affected creature distracted by its mutant takes a -1 stats penalty perception checks and will saves for 1 round. Failure, the creature overcomes stupefied 1, stupefied 2 for 1 round, and stunned 1. Actually, yes. That gives me another combat ability. There we go. I like this better. My attacks are mostly from my staffs. I'm probably going to want multiple staffs, to be honest. Shocking Grasp is a first level spell? I mean, it's touch, so I don't want it, but I actually like the idea of Schadenfreude. Does mean I now have to daze or ignite, but being more of a trickster, I think fits what I'm going to go for a little bit more. Knowledgeable trickster. The idea of Force Barrage and Dispel Magic, just having them, is nice. It's nice to have more of the basic spells. And I need something that does damage, besides daze. This does mean that, like, all of my stuff is... It also gives me some defense stuff like Blur. I come over here, level 8 version, and I go to spells. Get rid of telekinetic projectile and put back in Figment. And I'll do that in a second. And I got rid of Fleet Step. Telekinetic Maneuver. And Invisibility. I like Shift Blame. Haste I get automatically as Bloodline. I'm not going to do the time stuff. I'll have Telepathy. So I'm mostly going for mental and illusion spells. And we'll go up to 4th. Illusory object is 2nd, like I was planning. Oh, that is going to do Blur. That could be... It was 3rd level? Yeah, that's pretty good. Fear at 3rd level is not bad. Shoggy, and I take on here. This whole item could be fun, but it's not super useful. What did I get for Schadenfreude, right? Third and 4th rank. -2 to perception. Let's see if they have that. Verbal speech. Use auditory abilities or verbal spell components. Similarly, a creature who attempts to affect the target with an auditory effect must succeed at a 5 check and fails. Depends on the target's will save. Mind of Menace. Spell words against those who attempt to subvert your mind and turns mental magic back on them. When the spell is complete, you gain the Fight with Fear reaction. Once you use this reaction, the spell ends. Creature that you see uses a mental effect against you. Affect the triggering creature must attempt a will save. Failure, the creature is frightened 2, and you gain +2 status bonus to your saving throws or other defenses against triggering mental effect. Creature is frightened 2, and you're unaffected by the triggering mental effect. That's pretty good, honestly. Another else for rounds. At the end of each turn, a continuous will save, just reigning duration by 1 round, earned entirely on a critical success. And stunned. You become senseless, you can't act. Stunned usually includes a value, which indicates how many total actions you lose, possibly over multiple turns. From being stunned, each time you regain actions, reduce the reduce your stun value by the number of actions you lost. For example, if you're stunned 4, you lose all 3 actions on your turn, reducing the stun by 1 to 1. On your next turn, you would lose 1 more action and then be able to use the remaining 2 actions normally. Oh, okay. Stunned overrides slow. If the duration of your stunned condition ends while you are slowed, you count the lost action to the stunned condition towards the lost being slowed. So you were stunned 1 and slowed 2. Beginning of your turn, you would lose 1 action from stun, then lose only 1 additional action from by being slowed. You have 1 action remaining to use that turn. Condition of your stun condition ends while you are slowed. You count the last action towards the sun. Okay, so basically you would still lose. It would still reduce by 3 even if you're slowed, but on the next turn, 2 at the beginning of your turn, lose 1 action from stunned, and then only lose 1. Okay, yeah. So I see. There's paralyzed work in this game. The off-guard condition, and can't act except recall knowledge and use actions that require only your mind as turned by the GM. Paralyzed is nice, but not super great, honestly. Phantom Prison. Yeah, this is a mind. That's illusion. You launch illusion to double your ally's projectile or spell at the same target, leaving the enemy unsure which attack to avoid. Attack takes 3d mental damage, regardless of result. Save temporary. Okay. So it's off guard on a success. Off guard against the triggering attack and takes full damage from your illusion projectile. That's failure, but double damage. That's pretty good. It'll also give me another attack. Kind of. But it depends on if I have allies who have ranged attacks. Although, I think it could work... Wait, hold on. I was going to make within 20 feet makes a ranged attack roll. So it could be a ranged spell attack, I think, as well. Maybe. Oh, confusion's fun. You're off guard and don't treat anyone as your ally, though they might still treat you as theirs. You can't delay, ready, or use reactions. You use all your actions to strike or cast offensive cantrips, though the GM can have you use other actions to facilitate attacks, such as draw a weapon, move so target is in reach, and so forth. Your targets are determined randomly by the GM. If you have no other viable target, you target yourself, automatically hitting, not scoring a critical hit. It's impossible to attack or cast a spell. You babble incoherently, wasting the action. Each time you take you take damage from an attack or spell, you can attempt a DC flat to end or recover your confusion. Wow. Yeah, so just stunned for stunned 1. So you basically lose 1 action on your next turn. Stun. Each time you gain action, reduce the number of stun, reduce your stun value. Can you take reactions while stunned? Next, you use 1 more action. Stun might also have duration such that stun for 1 minute because you use all your actions for the duration. Ooh. Dual ambition. This really undermines his own goals every turn. For 1 hour, the target rolls twice and uses the lower result on initiative. For 1 day, the target rolls twice and uses their initiative rolls. Okay, so it's interesting, but not great. Phantasmal pressure of the deep sea, disorienting and crushing its lungs and joints. Target 66 bludgeoning damage. This one's grabbed, you can attempt to escape. That takes double damage. Neat. You select the place surrounding their eyes, blinding flash of diminishing color. When the spell's complete, you gain the Overlord Vision reaction. Yeah, and once you use it, the spell ends. Target is dazzled. Target is blinded until the end of the current turn. Blinded until the end of the current turn and dazzled for 1 minute. You fail perception checks, or crave able to see, and if vision only precise sense, -4 status penalty perception checks. You're immune to visual effects. You're overstimulated, vision swimming. If the vision is your only precise sense, all creatures and objects are concealed. So it's until the end of the current turn. It's not that great, honestly. Like, yeah, can incapacitate someone. It's a fortitude save. I should do suggestion. Target's infected and knows you tried to control it. Target immediately follows your suggestion. The spell's duration of 1 minute or until the target has completed a finite suggestion, and critical failure is an hour. We're gonna do a suggestion. Yeah, now we're gonna do Phantasmal Killer. Or Vision of Death. Damage with a will save. Versus Phantasmal Killer. Let's see. Well, let's see the killer. There you can see vague shape of the illusion as it races forth to attack. The effect of the killer is based on the outcome of the target's will save. Hold on. I think this is the same spell. Yeah, I think details for rulebook. Player court. Yeah, okay. Vision of Death is the new version of it. I think this was a mistake that this is still in here. Just need one more third rank spell. The crowd is a double turn for anyone who hasn't disbelieved the illusion. When you spend one or more actions to cast a composition spell or to perform an activity that includes a performance check, you can also sustain the spell as part of the action. Alright, +1, the crowd occupies an additional 10-foot square in range. No square doesn't need to be adjacent to any other square created by the spell. It can overlap. There's no additional effect. That's a fun one. Visibility is heightened at 4th. Does Blur have a heightened? No. Mirror Image doesn't have a higher level spell. Cloak a target in an illusion, shaping their clothing and more items into one suitable for a particular occasion. Visualize the occasion, and the spell creates illusion attire customized for each target. For instance, if you visualize a noble ball, armor would appear to be fine clothing. When you speak... Wait, hold on. Whenever you speak or make any other sound vocally, you make your vocal slash seem to originate from somewhere else within 60 feet. Oh no, I can already speak through illusory creature, right? Yeah. Use actions to speak through the creature, yeah. Your phantom copies of your weapon? No. It falls unconscious. Still unconscious. After 1 minute, wakes up automatically. falls unconscious for 1 round on a failure. And 1 minute on a critical failure. What? Creature that falls unconscious from the spell doesn't fall prone or release with its holding. Spell doesn't prevent creatures from waking up due to 6 perception check, limiting its utility in combat. Okay, so it's shortened, but they fall prone. It's not like they fall asleep on their feet, but they fall asleep. Okay. Kind of like fight. I kind of like Mind of Menace as a spell. Becomes mildly distracted by your display of applause. While it isn't fully occupied, it can't use reactions. Use reactions in the slug 1. Oh, wow, this is sustained. Okay, let's attempt to. Oh. This triggers reaction on the base immunity trait. Reaction is the immunity trait at the start of the target's turn. As a failure, plus the target so distracted. Oh, heck yes, I'm totally doing roaring applause. What is this from? Secrets of Magic. Yeah, this is a good one. It gives slow. Well, slow decreases every turn, right? When you regain your action, reduce the number of action regained by your slug value. During actions at the start of your turn, you don't immediately lose actions before you're slowed. When slowed during your turn. Okay, so it slows them for 1 round, but the idea of preventing someone from taking reactions is really nice. So let's do roaring applause. What? You're heightened +1, so you might actually be a good one. And you're wearing or holding, clearance back space, if this would bring should bring another creature with you, even if you're carrying it in an extra-dimensional container, the spell is lost. Wait, does Blood Magic have to be triggered on a Bloodline spell? If so, I completely misunderstood a piece of that. Let me check that. I'm now very curious. And then it'll probably end after I check this. Maybe cast a Bloodline spell. How did I miss that? Okay, so it doesn't work on everything. I thought it was just as long as you cast a spell. But... so spell slot or focus point. Cool. Please, thank you. Cool. Just alphabetizing. Well, I'm putting the bloodline spells up top. Then I'm alphabetizing. Okay. Yeah, so I'll probably do some of these. Lots of will saves. Anyway. Let's end. Thank you all very much for watching. If you liked, you can follow. If you really liked, you can subscribe. If you need more convincing, you can check me out. You can follow. Well, no, if you need more convincing, you can check me out on YouTube. And if you're currently on YouTube, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need more convincing, you can check out the video up here, or catch me live. Until next time, bye.